Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. So, once again, I'm back with Tower of God, and this is going to be the last episode of Walk Up the Tower. The reason is I've decided that I'll go from 121 to 133 in a single dash. Instead of doing 10 episodes, I'll do 13 and leave it as the finale because it's not really all that much. And since I'm finishing it off, I can spoil whatever I want for this chapter. So, in case you don't want spoilers, which is pointless if you're watching this here because we're in the stretch to the end, here comes a whole lot of discussion that's going to spoil everything because you've seen the entire tower. You're 120 up. I can't spoil much for you if you haven't read the blog posts. If you have read the blog posts, most of this isn't a spoiler. But yeah, there's a lot to know about this chapter. This chapter has had a lot of retcons, right? Retcons in terms of the family heads and their contracts. All of that has been retconned up to this path. One of the contracts that we know were retconned were the contract for Hendolak blood matter. He has to sacrifice his children, otherwise he loses his immortality. And we know now that Hansang is needed for one of the immortality contracts. That means he's a blood matter. He's a son of Hendolak, right? So that is one of the things. We also know that he was raised by Hendolak blood matter. We learned that at one of the blog posts. I'm not sure which one, but it all became part of the Tower of God wiki. So yeah, that's the whole thing that you need to know. Okay, so let's kick this off, and there's a whole lot that you should know. I may not express a lot of my emotions, but there's a reason behind it. If I express every emotion that I feel in this year, you're gonna hear a giddy and funny person 90% of the time with inaudible speech and the inability to express what's going on. So yeah, let's go for this one, yeah. So we kick in with the big beast being released in Enraged Rapid, and yes, Racha. Alright. Oh, so here's the mouse. All we have to do is, it's such a simple mission. If that if that guy explodes here, not even high rankers will be safe. I need to catch that mouse and get out of here. Lord Essential told me to come get you. A member of the Kun family who was sent to the nest. Kun Devo Ferez. I heard you're like a little rat that always manages to find a way to survive any situation. You know where the bomb is, don't you? Okay, so we see they're wondering how in the world he can contain a sea fish without a fishbowl. No wonder he's a family head. You're not really dead, are you? That was close, and there's no fishbowl, so I can't even tell where it's coming from. You better not die until I make you pay for everything you've done. He's so loud, unlike his father. Okay, so we see half of his core is damaged, right? So he needs to repair it. Oh, so he has more than just one thing. He's part machine. I didn't know that there. And we see he's asking how many more of those monsters does Tramurai have? Hey, Blondie. What do you mean? But we already know exactly where it leads to. It's okay, even if the warp device is linked to their main ship. There's a way to avoid going there. You sure are? Quick. We'll destroy the warp gate at the same time as we warp. If we escape through the warp gate during the battle, the enemy will come after us. If we destroy the gate right then, both the family head and us will end up somewhere other than the opposite gate. You call that a plan? If we do that, I know we could get stuck in the middle area forever or get caught up in the explosion and die. But now that the family head has appeared, it's better than dying here. But it's worth a shot given the circumstance. He wasn't just fighting for no reason. Alright, let's give it a try. It's better than just sitting around and dying here. Lafave, could you take care of destroying the gate once we've gone through? I guess I might as well help. Okay, so here's something to note on the whole story, right? The fastest climb through the tower is Yurik Mazzino, and I think that was 50 years or 100 years, one of the two, right? But I suspect it's 50. And Bam is en route to actually complete his climb of the tower way faster than Yurik. And you may not know this here, but in terms of time, Bam has actually spent, let's see, 5 years on the first floor, 10 years climbing up with the whole Hell Train and this story. So 10 plus 5 is 15. About 15 years. He's 15 years at 50. If he continues going up in 30 years, he should be done with 100 floors. So he should be close to a ranker. And if he keeps up that rate, maybe in about less than 40 years, he'll be through the tower. That'll be 10 years faster than Yurik Mazzino. But Bam can start climbing right now as fast as he wants. They'll even let their guard down eventually. Okay, what's this here about? Yes, Racha. You alright? Since when do you worry about me? Okay, so we see that they doing this just so Doom can get around. They're hoping the confusion will help. Watch out. Ooh. Yes, just look at those attacks. These things are crazy. These sea fish that divine fish that Traumarai controls should all be high ranker level, right? In terms of each one of them, I wouldn't expect any of the top 100 to easily take them on. Anybody under rank 50 shouldn't be able to take them on at all, right? Branch leaders should be able to fight them, and those are the top branch leaders. So maybe along the route of the trainers, the two who are left behind at the warship, they should be able to put up a fight with these sea fish, and they supposedly even more powerful than what's here already, right? In terms of the one who's there by the spider, she's most probably on par with Evankhell. So Evankhell shouldn't be able to even beat these sea fish. That's how powerful they are. That's how crazy this fight should be. So Yama and Yasracha fighting together, they might stand a chance against one, but not against a whole load of them like what they're fighting right now. Sigh. This guy sure is tough. Why do I get a feeling like I keep getting further away the longer we fight? If Lopubia's whole army gets here, we won't be able to fight them at all. Keep moving. Yes, master. Holhan, are you okay? Okay, let's see what's the story here. Change of plans. Forget about capturing that irregular. We'll back off while pretending to fight. Seeing that they keep pushing forward, I don't think they know the family head is here. They wouldn't dare to do that if they knew. And as we backing up in the fight, we'll gradually bring the irregular closer to the family head. Once the family head senses his presence, it's game over for him anyway. Ooh. Alright. So here we go, they're getting close. They change their stances. I think they're trying to lure us outside. It's a trap. No one knows what's waiting over there. But we won't stop, will we? Because our companions are over there. We have to push ahead. Let's go. Yes, master. And bam! You fools. The person waiting for you on the other side is someone greater than you could ever imagine. Okay, So technically speaking, Leviathan sounds like he's a part of Tramarai's personality. It could be that Jahad separated it to get control of Tramarai, and so basically Ba might have a piece of Tramarai inside him. That's what he's using to fight him. Other than that, if Leviathan is just a weapon to be used against Tramurai or one of his divine Shenwei, then Bam is 1/23 of the power there. And the other thing is, we have to remember that he has Enryu's thorns. He has 2 of them. So that power on its own is well beyond where it should be in terms of any regular's level of power. So um, the thorn is an administrator slayer, so it's only half of it. So he's half an administrator slayer. So he's a top class high rank level, just if you count the thorns, right? So that's 3 things that are inside him. The Thrissa that's inside him gives him the power of an administrator. So if you pile that on, that makes him administrator level with the ability to kill half the administrator. So he'll have that full half the administrator power, right? So yeah, he's definitely capable of fighting a family head. And on top of that, there he has the power of the colossal soul, which powers administrators. So he has about the full power of an administrator. He has the power of an irregular. He has the devourer spirit within him. He has so much of power that he should be able to put up a fight. Beat a family head? No, he shouldn't be able to beat a family head right now. Maybe around the 79th, 80th floor, he should be at that level. And as I said, he's catching up with Yurik Mizuno on Yurik Mizuno's climb, which was the 50-year climb, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, it was 100 or in between 100 and 50. Could even be 90 if I am wrong about 50. So yeah, that could be it, and that is where he's heading. So yeah, Bam is really on the push to become even more powerful than Yurik, and I'm expecting to meet Enryu and Phanteminum in the next few arcs, because Phanteminum is an Axis. We know that there because SIU gave it away. Phanteminum was an Axis from outside the tower, so we know that there's for sure. And he isn't the Axis of the story, so he is just a random Axis. So yeah, that's something for you to note. Okay. Alright, here we go. Big hits. They're almost at the exit. Bang. Rumble, swish, crack. Black hole Shinsu sphere. Stand Cobalt, it's the irregular. Go get him. Ooh. And there's the attack heading the way from Cobalt. Is that the irregular? So it's you the new guy in the tower. The one from the outside. I've been wanting to meet you. Okay, so that ends this chapter. Let's get to the next one. Something else to note, if he knew who Bam really was, the child that Jahad killed, he most probably wouldn't be wanting to meet him, he'd be wanting to kill him. And if he found out that Jahad killed Arlen's and V's child, I'm not sure whether all the family heads would agree with it. Kun Edwan, Pobet Augustang, Hendolak Blood Matter are definitely 3 factions who would break away because of that, because they were friendly with V. You're the new guy in the tower, the one from the outside. Just for, by the way, the power might just trip in the middle of this. Yeah, we had an incident in South Africa where somebody broke into our house basically, and they caused some damage. So yeah, it's causing some trips in our power. So if that happens, please bear with me. You'll have 10 minutes of awkward noise, and then everything will be sorted. I've been wanting to meet you. Someone got him. Vio. The family had probably has him with him. I can't let this guy pass. Stop him. Okay. Okay, so there's the whole attack against the owl guy. Remember, Jin Sang Ha is also crazy. We finally meet in person. So you're the one who opened the door. I heard lots about you. You survived the battle, I see. I can't believe a regular managed to survive a war among high rankers. Alright, I admit it. You're worthy of meeting me. Who are you? The head of the Lopobia family, Tramurai. That's right, I'm one of the 10 great family leaders. He made me devour all those awful memories. I want to kill him. I want to tear him to shreds. Kill him, kill him, kill him for me, right now. Another white type situation. I can't. I can sense it. If I show any hostility now, I'll be dead in a matter of seconds. So we get it, right? Bam can't beat him. It's a bit late, but welcome to the tower, outsider. If you survive this battle, there's something I wanted to tell you. Everyone's distracted by that Rugrat that came out of nowhere. Now's our chance to activate the warp fleet. I'll head to the entrance on the right, you go the opposite way. Stretch. Just because the family head isn't paying attention, don't start getting any funny ideas, Mutt. The family head is aware of everything. That little... It's okay, no one saw Blondie cross over to the other side. There's still a chance. There it is. That must be the control room. I think the door to the warp fleet opened just for a second just now. We need to go after them. Did you see him go in? Alright everyone. That's enough. What's that? Lopobia Tramurai. Shinsu Black Hole Sphere. All creatures. Woohoo! Yeah, this is scary. If anyone interrupts our conversation as of this moment, I'll make everything in this nest disappear. Yeah, so that's irregular power, right? Crazy power. And as I said, only regulars use Black Hole Shinsu. What's that strange thing? I don't think it's Shinsu. The moment that Tramurai revealed his Shinsu Black Hole Sphere, everyone in the tower could sense it. Those near and far, strong and weak. In that instant, everyone sensed his power. It was as if everyone had suddenly been summoned to a deep abyss. You could sense that your life was in danger. Except for one person. I love that one there. So irregular bomb, is it? Ever since it became known that you were in the tower, some of the other family heads and I have been discussing what to do with you. Some said we should kill you, while others said you should be protected. And some said we shouldn't bother someone climbing the tower according to the rules like you. I guess your presence here in the tower has caused a bit of a rift. Okay, let's see. Pobedao Gustang. Gustang said they should kill him. And said that we shouldn't bother someone climbing the tower. Yuan most probably. Edwan, looking at the blue color here, or Tuperi. Jaha didn't want to see us divided any longer, so he didn't take any direct action aside from giving orders to the army. Being the king, Jaha no doubt wants to find the best possible solution for everyone. Made it clear that they want conflict. Pobadao. And so the question of what to do with you became an entirely different issue. The situation became such that even the family heads got involved directly. In order to stop the conflict, the king gave 3 orders to get rid of you, but unfortunately you're still alive. If the king had a clear opinion on the matter, I would go along with it, but since that's not the case, I'm taking all the family heads' opinions into consideration. That's why I agreed to the proposal to summon you here. Whew, I didn't think it would matter if you died here. So he doesn't really care all that much. And like others said, I also thought it wouldn't hurt to spare you if you managed to survive here. Because if you survive this battle, it means you're worthy of serving me. If I decide you're useful, you can serve me. And if not, I'll kill you. That's how I work. Unfortunately, the conflict isn't showing any signs of stopping. And now it's gotten to the point that a clash among the families is unavoidable. As a result, your role in all of this is quite important. I know I'm holding someone dear to you hostage, but I've decided to consider you an equal as a human being and extend a hand to you. Would you like to join our family? If you want to join our family and become one of us, there's no better way to solidify a political relationship than through marriage. I'm sure you'll be of great use to me if you survive this battle. What do you mean? Lots of outstanding girls in our family. We even have 2 regulars who are chosen to be Jahad's princesses. Being one of the Jahad's princesses is a great honor, but I'm sure they would give it up to marry you. Let me officially make you an offer and join the Lopobia family. I want you to be mine. That's my offer to you. Okay, so it's crazy as an offer, right? Let's see how this goes. Obviously, we know Bam is crazy, and I'm suspecting he's gonna say something crazy. The offer. Okay, so here we go. The cat tower. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing is exploding. Honestly, that side with Bam is so interesting that everything else is just so boring. That thing's a monster. Oh yeah, that monster is chasing. What's the Hybrida doing here? We're up against a lot of enemies. This isn't good. There's no time to waste. Then again, maybe this is a good chance to distract the beast. There's a passage on the other side. Okay, so it wants to rush to the other side. Oh no, you don't. You're not going anywhere. Ooh. Oh no, the Hybrida is so hard to control once it goes on a rampage. What happened to the armored soldiers? Oh, so we see Caracas Man 1. Who are they? What are they doing here? Where did the armored soldiers go? Okay, the monster sure seems upset. Probably because it has so many more opponents to fight all of a sudden. It sure is wild, just like someone else I know. Hey, watch your mouth. with an uncontrollable beast like that. The bomb is going off soon. We need to get out of here. There's a mouse over there. They'll notice if I go rushing after it. Plus, because of the administrator, the booby traps have been upgraded to a high ranker level. Use this to my advantage. Okay, let's see. So many arms now. Whoosh. Rumble. Okay, I'm a little bit excited, honestly. We're about to get to see some real crazy stuff go down. What the hell? Look, Karakacha. Stop right there. Nice timing. Who are they? And isn't the bomb supposed to go off soon? I just got here and I'm already confused. Rush, rush. Wait, this is no time to be fighting each other. Who's that now? The 1st Division Commander of the 5th Army Corps. Where is he? You mean the golden guy earlier? Wait, that high ranker? Is the hidden bomb. Do you mean that he is the bomb? There's no time to explain. Where is he? I just heard from another division commander of the 5th Army Corps. That guy is the bomb. He is a human bomb set to detonate whenever the corps commander gives the order. If he explodes, everyone here except a few high rankers will die. Is that true? So he is. But he's not here. Where did he go? Where? Okay. I'll go after him. Almost everyone in the cat tower would be killed. I lost contact with the Army Corps commander, so go ahead with the plan. Understood. What? Marriage? Okay, let's see what's going on. What the heck is the blabbering about? Tramurai is up to no good again. Does this mean that Kid would be heir to our family? I guess so. There's no need to be confused. The fact that you managed to survive in the nest, crawling with high rankers as a mere regular, proves that you're worthy. I guarantee you a position just below that of one of the honorable family heads. Not even the title of Slayer candidate compares to this. Well, as unlikely as it is, if you don't happen to like any of the daughters that our family presents to you, you can certainly pick someone else from our family to marry. I'll let you choose. What do you say? Tell me, have the girls you've chosen as candidates agreed to this as well? I don't need their consent. All that matters is what I want. Jihad's permission and your decision. That's the difference between lower creatures and us. This is some heavy stuff to be seeing inside a comic. If that's the case, then I refuse. I don't know, but even more than that, I don't like the way you made the offer. How can you force someone to get married without asking them what they think? I refuse your offer. Is that so? Then you leave me no choice. The offer is cancelled. I am doing things my way now. I don't care what you think anymore. and you will be mine. If you refuse, your master and your friends trapped in the suspendium will all die here. I'll kill every last one of them. Ooh. And every living creature in the nest will die a pointless death, all because of your decision. As of this moment, your fate will be whatever I decide. Ooh, I object. You can't make someone get married without their consent. Jinsang Ha. I thought he was trapped in the suspendium. Can't believe one of the family has showed himself here. I never expected this. What should I do? In the air around Lopobia's battleship. Ooh, Pobet Augustang. So Lopobia is about to be attacked by Gustang. Alright, way to go Gustang. Let's hope you wipe them out. Alright, let's see how this goes. This is really getting weird. Can you do me a favor? If you're going to ask me to help you escape, don't even bother. Well, it's something like that. The thing is, I used some of my own blood to create canines called mad dogs. And the mad dogs with my blood in them all have something in common. They lose control of themselves and charge at enemies blindly when they're enraged. They literally turn into mad dogs. That's why I assigned some people to keep them under control. And learn to control his madness himself. And the longer he holds back his madness, the more powerful he is when he finally releases it. Very often in life, but I'm sure I could do it. I get a similar feeling when someone wakes me up from a deep slumber. It's like a sudden burst of power. So my brother and I discussed the idea and using the warp fleet to escape through the gate. I'm not sure, but if it's worth a shot, the family head won't destroy the warp fleet or the gate if he wants to get back to the battleship. So I need you to block his attack for a minute. Just long enough for me to unleash the power I've been building up inside. I'm counting on you. Kind of pisses me, actually, it really pisses me off. Tangrade family leader Calamity. The game just ended, so it looks like the lighthouse is working normally again. I doubt he hid it somewhere easy to find. We'll try our best to find it. Okay. Exactly why I called you. You have to look for the 1st Division commander. He's wearing golden armor covered in spikes like a pineapple. Hold on. I think he just went by us. That's him. I found him. Well, then tell me where he is, Glance. Turned a corner and headed into a tunnel. He'll be at coordinates in a few seconds. Got it, I'll head over there. Okay, and there we go, smashing right through everything. What happened? I knocked him out in one hit. Don't worry, I blew his head off. It's like he's half beast skin, half machine. No. Oof. This can't be. It's not even time yet. Just forget about it. Ooh. It's exploding. Bye bye, everybody. Kaboom. The prodigal son of the Ha family. Aren't you supposed to be sealed in suspendium? What are you doing here? Does it even matter? I never really cared about you anyway. You are simply a tool to manipulate the irregular. And yet you're there to oppose my marriage offer? You may have the Ha blood in you, but you're still a lower creature. You have no right to defy me. I guess I don't have a choice now. I may be considered an enemy of the family for joining FUG, but I don't deny the prestige and might of the Tengrid family leaders. Also, why I aspire to be a family head myself, but not because I look down on you family heads. But I still think think the gods placed a certain restriction on you, and that restriction is humanity. Whew, he's really spitting out some heavy stuff here. And I know that not even the family heads can do anything about that. So please, Lord Tramarai, if nothing else, at least respect Palm's humanity. Fine. Seeing that this lowly creature thinks he knows all about what the god wants, I'll give you one more chance to choose. I give you the right to choose again. What kind of choice is that? Twisted old man. I can't believe I used to be just like him. Ooh. You seem to be mistaken. The family heads don't force the lower beings in the tower to do anything for some kind of personal reason. It, like nature, it's simple. Simply must be accepted, so you'll have to accept it too. We are the nature and laws of the tower. So this is what kind of people the Tengrid family heads are, and how they view themselves. Fine, let's say you are like the law of nature. In that case, I refuse to respect that law. Alright then, go ahead and fight against it as hard as you can. Gates incomplete. Now restarting Warp Fleet. It worked. Warp Fleet has been activated now. It's almost time to leave. What's going on with the Warp Fleet? The Warp Fleet is moving. Kraken, grab that. Ooh, I like this here. This is just like that perfect little in-between motions where you're about to get some heavy action. I actually know what's about to happen, so here we go. Swoosh, creak. It's time. Yama. Push for bam. Rumble. Yama complete transformation of half of his body. Oh, okay. Boom. Dun dun. Okay, so he's going to release his attack because somebody interfered. 125. Okay, so we have 8 more to go. This doesn't seem so heavy, but I have been going quite slow and I haven't been expressing everything, so let's see. Rumble. The 10 great family leaders calamity. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. The power just went out for me, so it'll be a few seconds. And in that time, I'm going to talk about whatever was going on. Oh, okay, it's back up. Whew. Sorry about this. It'll take me a few seconds to just sort out whatever went wrong. So brace with me for a few seconds until my internet is restored. Okay, let me just put this up. Okay, you're just going to get a blank on the screen for a few seconds, but let's talk about where we were, right? We just completed some nice little caption fighting, a lot of small things, and we got Yama doing half body transformation. Honestly, they're teasing a lot at the full body transformation for Yama. We know Yama can do full body transformation, right? He transforms one part at a time in complete transformation, then he does a full body complete transformation, which is complete transformation, right? So we know that's what we're waiting for in the next few chapters, and that's what we're going to get. So let's just wait for it a little bit longer, and yeah, it's going to go that way. Considering that the family head is here, I'm suspecting the fact that they made a move means he's going to just wipe out everything. Remember, that was his warning. I'm warning y'all not to do anything, or basically I'm going to destroy everything around me. Okay, I should be back up. Why am I not? Alright. Alright, and there's it, it's back. Okay, the warp fleet is moving again. Alright, so I just did break up a little bit of time in between. A lot of things are going on. I don't know if these tricks will work against the family head, but I'll protect the warp fleet. Just run. Why on earth are you helping us? Just run. I'll kill you if you come back, so don't even think about getting revenge. Leave only with the fear I planted in you. Just keep running and running forever, and never come back. Go. Inside the cat tower. Okay, here's it. No! This can't be. It's not even time yet. Just forget about it. Boom. Oh, Shibisu Hats. Rumble. Are you kidding me? Okay, I know that this here would be expected right now, just to store the internet. So here we go, Rumble. We see lighthouses everywhere. I think they're lighthouses at least. Smash. Okay. Where do I feel like I'm floating? Am I dead? Am I really dead? This can't be the end. I never achieved my life goal like I promised my friend. Is this really it? No. Float, 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 float. Who are you? Oh, Sophia Tan. I'm one of the elders of Fugs. You were protecting the needle, weren't you? You came to save us. I had a feeling something bad was going to happen. I'm not technically on your side, but I couldn't just pass by and ignore you. He's like this every time he sees a girl. She suddenly came out of nowhere and brought that massive explosion under control. She's extremely powerful. I sense a more distance, but even deadlier power. It must be the family head. I didn't come to fight you. My mission in this battle is to escape. And fighting light bearers either. The target doesn't seem to be a When you said you came because you sensed something dangerous, did you mean what I think you did? The Shinsu has definitely gotten way heavier than before the game started. See that? There's something unbelievably powerful over there. There's no point fighting anymore. Let's avoid any unnecessary sacrifices. I'll take these guys back to the needle and get the warp ready. Okay, so here's it. Everybody's talking. We decided to warp in 10 minutes. If Palm makes it to you guys and can't come back here in time, send him over the warp gate in the K9 Spear like we originally planned. Lopobia's main forces might show up here. There's definitely something over there. It seems like things have been taken care of everywhere except there. There's no reason to delay any longer. I'll take everyone to the needle and start the warp. We'll go look for Vio. Helping him was our goal in the first place, no matter how dangerous it might be. I'd like to go too, but I don't think I'd be very helpful. My flame isn't even working. Bring Bob back safely. Okay, so here we go. In the air, above the Lopobia battle fortress. What's going on? A battleship, right? We have several rows of high rankers, light bearers monitoring the perimeter. How did he get past them? And he's by himself. I recognize that feeling. What's he doing here? I'm going to read your book. Look at that. Ooh, destruction. I like the way he uses his Shinsu. It's really, really weird. Oh, and he's smoking. I wonder if I'll finish the book before you all turn to ash. Or if your master will appear and stop me first. Let's wait and see. No matter who they are, they're not going to put up a fight against the family head, right? The only ones who could would be maybe Adori Jahad, maybe, and another family head. So yeah, these guys are finished. I did promise to help, so I arranged Jahad's troops as Lopobia requested this time. But it wouldn't be any fun if everything went exactly to plan. Now that Sangha is free, Lopobia lost their way of controlling the irregular. And the family head's weakness that was hidden in the suspendium is now in the so she already knew. If those variables will be enough for the boy to do anything. Still, I have a bit of hope. I didn't expect you to be behind this. Who are you? You could say I'm also someone who's active behind the scenes. We more or less want the same thing. The Irregular's companions are in the warp fleet now. I suggest you change its destination for both our sakes. So you're still not paying any attention to me, huh, Tramurai? If you don't want to be dominated by someone else, you need to completely dominate yourself. You think I'll fall for that again? What the hell is that? Another one just came out of him. We need to help. Okay, smash. I think they trying. Sorry about that. Power went down again. Doing repairs. So yeah, you know how it goes sometimes. I think they're trying to escape in the warp fleet, but the family head probably won't fall for that. Still, we might as well help them since they're already doing it. Okay, let's see. Sorry about this. As I said, there will be some breaks in this year because of repairs that are going on. Let's just get in there. They need to get back to the battleship anyway, so they won't attack us if we're in the warp fleet. How dare they disrespect the family head like that? Okay, they're coming. Okay, so here we go. Alright, I have to wait here. Don't ever disrespect the family heads. Craziness with all of this. Sorry about that. Have to move this over. Alright, I'm gonna be blanking you out for a few seconds again. Alright, and I'm back up. Okay, so here we go. So we see Karaka, Cha, Dawan. You're free. It's him. He's the one giving off the chaotic energy. It was destroyed. Everyone's okay. The others are waiting to activate the device in the needle. We sensed something was wrong, or something was wrong over here, so we came to check on all of you. Come on, hurry up, we need to get out of here. I think everyone's running away. I thought we were here to fight. Let's just go with them. Come on. Hurry up, yo. The family had said not to touch that boy. Swoosh, that power. Did the regular just tear through my reins? Isn't that transformation? Leviathan. Let's go, Vio. Just run. Has Leviathan been unleashed? Then that means the Suspendium must have been destroyed. What a nuisance. Cobalt, go get them. That's the light from earlier. Watch out, don't let it hit you. See, I got you. Get out of here. Don't run, don't look back. What are you doing? Do you really think you're out of my reach now? Am I hallucinating? Step out of it. Stay back, you fool. Yes, Racha. There's only one core left. Fight the door, kill him, Traumarai. When are you going to stop manipulating me? I want to die free at least. Yes, Racha destroyed his core. My patience has reached its limit. Okay, I don't like doing things myself, but you people have crossed the line. And beyond that line, Lobobia Traumarai Shansu Black Hole Sphere. Unleashed. Behold, your little varmin. This is calamity. Something's coming, hurry. Rumble. Oh, so yeah, here's Traumarai's Black Oceans. Can you hear me? What is it? Well, sir, the family head of the Pobadao family has appeared at the battleship. Ooh, bye-bye. Your family is gone. Rumble. Oh, they dying. Lopobia's soldiers are dying like crazy over here. Are you alright? I'll cover you. Inside the warp fleet, Lord Traumarai. The communications are working. Okay. Has appeared at the battleship. Okay, here we go. The big fights have only just begun. Gustang is at the battleship. Does he know I'm here? If we don't do something soon, the battleship will be destroyed. To attack the battleship, the attack stopped. Let's head for the exit. Everybody is dashing away quickly now. Let's go. I want you to capture the irregular alive and return to the battleship. Return to the battleship. I repeat. Capture the irregular alive. Then make your way to the warp fleet and return to the battleship. They won't attack us if we stay near the warp fleet. Just try not to fall off. You're not going anywhere. Karaka. Get in the warp fleet. Get out of my way. Ooh. They're already inside. Can't believe those jerks left me behind. Okay, so we're missing some important sections here. They look like they're scrambling to get out of here. So yeah, this is going to be awesome. Let's see what they did. Okay, Char got shot in there. Thank you, Vio. Don't relax. The head of the family won't just let us warp. We'll have to pray for America. That miracle is going to happen. Traumarai, oh shoot. I just noticed this warp fleet could probably be divided into 3 sections. I'll just split the warp fleet into parts and I just need Lafav to blow up the gate as soon as we warp. Worth a try. Beep. What's going on? The warp is starting. Why did it suddenly split into 3 pieces? Whatever. I'm just going to stick to the plan. I'll shoot. Kaboom. The gate is down. Ooh, the warp is irregular and zap. Blast, okay. I thought it was gonna be blaze. Foosh. Okay, so here we go. And how does it go? Where are we? What just happened? Laliel and Shaliel Jahad, what's going on? Lobubia Laliel Jahad's floating ship. Okay, we're almost at the end. I know exactly how this part here goes, but anyway, here we go. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to my teammates. I didn't even have time to get ready. This floor test is coming up soon. Don't overcomplicate things, Laliel Shaliel. Do I seem like the kind of person who can't handle being by themselves? I have my teammates with me anyway, so don't worry. I'm not really worried. There must be some kind of special mission for you that I can't do. Rumble. What's going on? Warp. Immediately after Lopobia's fleet warped the nest, the divine sea animals are disappearing. This chaotic energy disappeared as well. Did that being finally leave? I was starting to reach my limit. Let's hurry up and warp. Come on. Marshni's floating carrier. That massive attack stopped. Does this mean the family had left? Whatever is going on, it doesn't affect our conversation. Isn't that right? You made a very interesting proposal. I always follow my curiosity. The destination has changed. It's a random place now. We'll never see Balm again if we go there. Are you listening? Stop the warp now. Have a good trip. Who in the world is this? Oh, this is from the chip. If the family head didn't give me the shield, I'd probably be dead. I don't know where you all went, Rattle. But good luck. Oh, Lafave. End of the Nest episode. So goodbye to the Nest. That battle is over. Somewhere else in the tower at the same moment. Oh, there's another piece that warped into another random place. Where are we? Meanwhile, okay, so there's somewhere else in the tower. Mama. I can't believe this. Of course. This is the Pobedau family's battleship. They don't stand a chance like this, so they need a family head. And even if the family head isn't here, Pobedau's family is just regular rankers, good enough to put up a fight with them, or their family heads. Their family leaders, basically. The Pobedau family is similar, right? The Ark of Knowledge. You set up camp right in front of my territory. You can only play innocent for so long, Curran. Where's your master? You're in no position to speak to me. Hurry up and get him. Or if he already knows, we have no way to stop him. Or else your precious little home will disappear. Where are you? What's taking so long? I think we made it to the gate. But where are we? Is there a person? Path of Will. Do you think this was the right choice? No matter how strong we are, we can't do anything against a family on their own battleship. If the family head is on the battleship, then we're in serious trouble. We better make sure no one finds out that we're branch leaders. Turn off all the pockets. It's the only way. Welcome, castaways. You won't help so without help abandoned, so entirely depressed that it could hardly be rational to be thankful for such a life. But something always returns swift upon me, check these thoughts and reprove me. Oh, check what they're wearing. I think he's reading from a book, sir. It sounds like it's from a novel about being shipwrecked. And then I pointed to the sea. A Robinson Crusoe. Okay, yeah. All evils are to be considered with the good that is in them. So, yeah, that is something kind of cool. A war fleet carrying some unidentified drinkers just arrived here. Now I've seen it all. Oh, okay, so there's it. 129. Oh, so we're really closing in on the end. The pockets are turned up, so we can't identify right now, but at least rankers or higher. I should ask the family head for permission to go check them out later. This is where things get weird. Fug is involved with Po Badao, and things are just getting weird on the Lopobia battleship. Wait. That silhouette, do you know who that is? Yeah. But if it's who I think it is, it's definitely not someone who you want to run into like this. Lopobia's forces or Jahan's forces? Lord Gustang, what is it? We haven't managed to determine their exact identities, but judging by the serial numbers on the war plate, it's likely the Lopobia family. Capture them all alive? Why would one of the Lopobia's ships be shipwrecked here? In that case, this floating ship here in front of me is probably from the nest. I'll reschedule it. I've already accomplished what I set out to do. What I set out to do today anyway. I'm heading out. Yes, sir. Alright, let's go. I like bookworms. Bookworms are more of my people. Bomb and trauma around boat. I can't believe we warped with the family head. I don't think we're near the battleship, but I can definitely sense it. It is not far, Gustang. Don't be nervous. Why would I kill the boy who's going to be my son? I still hang on about that. I said no. In the world with you. This isn't good. If we keep refusing like this, he'll kill us all. We need something to persuade the family head to let us live for now. How about we make our own counter offer? is ensuring that both sides consent to it. We're not necessarily opposed to the idea of marriage with the Lopobia family. So how about you give Viola choice as well? I think that Viol and I should at least know whether the potential marriage partner proposed by the Lopobia family are suitable for marriage. We need an opportunity to evaluate them ourselves. So I think, why don't we have a tournament? Where marrying Viol is the prize. What on earth is he talking about? Shh, Viol, this is absurd. You didn't even ask me how I feel. Actually deciding who's going to marry you. I'm just trying to buy us some time. Who would actually take part in a ridiculous tournament like this? Even if someone decides to participate, I have a plan, so don't worry. I'll make sure you don't have to marry anyone. Alright, we'll have a tournament. That's right. I have other important business to attend to, so I don't want to drag this on for too long. The tournament will be in 1 month. We'll decide the place. I'll send out secret notices to various families and organizations to gather participants against each other, and the winner will marry the irregular. Do you agree to that? Yes. I can't believe this is happening, seriously. I'm not sure why, but one of Jahad's war fleets appeared at the gate, and Lord Gustang disappeared with the floating carrier. Tell us who's on board, we'll come help you. Not that it matters to me, since I'm a princess of Jahad. Come and pay the proper respect to the princess. Lalil Jahad. You good. Tell her. I'm the family head. Is that all in that case? Huh? Wait. Did you just say the family head? What's Lord Ramarai doing here? I'll come over to you, sir. Don't bother, the warp fleet has already run out of energy. I'll come across to your ship. What? It's okay, I don't drink, sorry. Seeing that even one of the princesses is around you, of course it's alright. I'm heading over. I might have met my future son-in-law sooner than expected. Something tells me Bam is gonna end up getting married with us. I'm Lalil Jahad, princess. Ooh. I didn't expect to see you here like this. I apologize for being so flustered. Okay, so here's some weird things that we got. Jin Sang Ha actually respects the family heads, and I don't think that was a lie. We saw how he responded. We know that he was upset with some of their decisions, and he wants to be a head himself. Lift your head. Someone I want to show you. He might very well end up being your husband. Jovial Grace. What's he doing here? Slayer candidate? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell like that in your presence. I'll try to control myself better. When I mean is someone so cruel and dishonest. You are the dishonest one, not me. Competitors? You're so loud, sorry, so I'm just so confused. How could a princess like me possibly marry? You must. This is what I've decided. I'm going to gather girls who are interested in marrying him. And if the winner is from Lopobia family, I'm going to take this boy from Fug and make him heir to the Lopobia. Makes no sense. I can't accept this. I'd rather kill him instead. If she could, well, let's see how this goes. I believe I missed an episode. Or two. Okay, so here we go. Lilial Jahad. Okay, no, I've read everything. I just remembered why it seems so unfamiliar. Like I said, I've had that problem with missing frames all the time. This is just when we got the notice that hiatus was coming again. You're alive. Salimat put me down. You keep making me worry by attaching yourselves to things like love, like avenging your father. Why don't you set yourselves free from all that? Are you kidding me? This is an ironic one because we know Yasracha isn't the bad guy, but they don't know the whole story. I didn't want my death to drag on like this. You won't live much longer after that attack from the family head. A few months at most. By the way, where are we? This doesn't seem like Lobobia's battleship. Beastkin. Observer invisible mode. Who's that? Advanced tamer in the Lopobia army. Lopobia Fates. Okay. Huh? They trespass on my territory without permission. Middle area. Palms room. Okay. I'm so confused. I hope Kun and the others walked okay. I'm sure they're all fine. Hi there, Slayer Candidate. What are you doing here? I'm just against this marriage as you are. How could I possibly marry someone like you? What do you think you're doing here? I don't even want to say it. If you disappear, this whole problem would go away. Floating ship has disappeared in a battle in the nest. In the midst of the battle, his whereabouts have not yet been determined. Presumed dead. Ooh, and a Rossi. Turn the floating ship around right now. We need to go see Balm. 131. Alright, Lalil Jaha, let's keep going. This is chapter 2 from her. Swoop, bash, slam. Shinsu. If you use that attack inside the floating ship, who cares? What if the family head catches you? I have nothing to lose now anyway. I'd rather die than compete to marry someone like you. Huh? Grab. There's an opening. Hold on, if I beat her now, I might end up having to marry her. Wait, no, that's not what I wanted. I lost. Then marry. Pause now. I like this. You weak little. But this won't solve anything. Who's that guy? Wow, very impressive. Look at that, all these high rankers rushed over here because they were afraid I might hurt Fug's precious little Slayer candidate. Won by bringing in all those other people to help you, didn't you? I don't think we should talk about that. One condition, I want you, Jovial Grace, to take part as well. Prove that you're worth competing for. Show me whether you're truly worthy of being the heir to our family. He didn't even give us a chance to respond. I'm fine. Not even a princess is a match for you now. Should have been seriously injured if you didn't go easy on her. She wants to take part in. I was actually going to suggest something similar to the family. Isn't it better if you participate in the tournament yourself? You can't get out of this anyway. If you try to avoid the tournament, you'll either be killed or, or forced to take part. But if you fight in the tournament and win, you might just earn the right to decide your own fate. Like back at the battle, at the workshop. Actually, you're right. This is. Oh, this is going to be heavy. Plus, I have my father to think about, so I'm feeding my mind with knowledge. Pobadao family ranker, Pobadao Balrier. I'll have to lead the Pobadao family. Ooh. That might be Rachel's best way to get power. Oh, okay, so we see that there's more people who just arrived. That's most probably I'm forgetting his name. Gustang and Kun. Ta-da! I'd like to propose something that might amuse you. You'd probably like him if you saw him. To watch him die slowly in a cage. You can always just kill him if you get tired of playing with him. Yeah, that sounds like a Rachel move. Something tells me it's gonna blow up in her face. I don't understand this. Couldn't this potentially weaken his power as the head of one of the 10 great families? Plus, this would ruin the relationship between the princess and the Jahad family. I'm not sure about you, but I understand the situation. If there ever were a conflict among the 10 great families, then the head of the Lopobia family's behavior would make complete sense. In terms of sheer power, the Eri, Kun, and Ha families are stronger than the others. It's because each family has an overwhelming powerful head capable of correcting all imbalances amongst the families. But what if a certain family had another person who could be as powerful as a family head someday? What do you think would happen to the balance of power? Seeing we all broke through the line of defense in the nest consisting of high rankers and reached him, he realized that Viol could potentially overthrow the balance amongst the families more quickly than he thought. As you know, Tramurai enjoys taking advantage of people. And tradition has confirmed that marriage is an effective way of doing so. But given the current situation, Tramarai's decision to marry Bam into the family is surprisingly rational. The tournament is just a variable that I suggested, and he'll probably try to find a way to use the variable to his advantage. Oh, Leviathan is educating Balm on Tamarai. Seol Young won. Oh, this is Sophia Tan's branch of FUG. Where did we warp to? It's like a sacred place to FUG. There's a place within the tree where it's constantly snowing. That's where Alan once stayed long ago. Ooh, yeah, here comes heavy story. Almost became a slayer. The hero of the war. You don't really expect me to fight some pathetic little rugrat like him, do you? Yama, those troops are all beeskin. What? No answer. In that case, oh, okay. I warned you. Hey, you. He's obviously not just an ordinary rancor. Bang. This shouldn't take long. This should be like another one of the easy ones. I said brace yourself. Okay, here we go. I'm actually going to enjoy this big finale and ending as we end this part and we're about to enter the princess arc. Tom's fright weakened every muscle in his body. Oh, this is Lopopia guys are reading. What am I doing here? Reading a book in front of all these people. Somebody kill me, please. Excerpts from Mark Thorne's The Adventures of. I love this, yeah. Third area of library, Rachel. Trio from the Poverhouse family, upper class. The Poverhouse. So Rachel is using Yura again. I suspect Yura is gonna turn on Rachel soon. The head of the family wants. Okay, so Kun is safe. Elite prison on Poverhouse battleship. You look healthier than I expected. They obviously treat prisoners well here. What are you doing here? My new little disposable pet. Ooh, the blue cat. He's pretty cute. Oh my goodness. So we see that Rachel's already starting a nonsense um with Kun. Okay, so here we go. Lalil Jihad Part 4. Lower the platform. I bet the older ladies and gentlemen with lots of suspendium will love him. I'll find a way to get him out of here. See you on the outside, little kitty. I feel like I'm really not going to like what's about to happen. I know better than you how dangerous it would be to fight your family. I've met your family head in person. But I can't just back down and run away. You're all free. Is that what I think it is? He's still alive, finish him off. Did it stop? How on earth did a loser like him manage to control all those beastskin? Ooh. This is way too soon. I'll send you a high-speed ship from the battleship, sir. And I still have unfinished business with the irregular, so I'll go back with him later. I was just wondering if perhaps you changed your mind after meeting him. I just wanted to take advantage of him, you know me. Plus, the irregular swallowed Leviathan. Memories that I erased. So now I have no choice but to make that irregular mine. Impertinent of me to ask, but were you aware in advance that he could swallow Leviathan? I tried. Let's talk later. I tried or I'm tired? I'm tired. Let's talk later. Okay. if he wins the tournament. Surprisingly, Tamra accepted the offer without any hesitation on one condition. Dalal Jahar agreed to participate in the tournament. Family began to search for the missing branch leaders. Out numerous messages and informed several people, both within the outside the family, of the news. 3 days later. So that's it. The Lopobia family ship's battleship. I expected it to look like a jungle. Tell him you're glad he's alive and Rossi. He couldn't die that easily. That wasn't an easy death for him to die. That was like a heavy death. What? Jovial grace? Marriage? Palm is entering a tournament for marriage? Frown. I am going. And keep an eye on the ship. Hey, get back here. Deep within the tower. What on earth? Oh, look who it is. Is the meaning of this. Member of Jahar's Royal Guard, Lopobia Ren. I can't believe this. Does he really expect me to just sit back and do nothing after reading news like this? Nonsense. I'm going to kill Joe Grace for myself. End of the next episodes. Alright. So that was the crazy heaviness of the last few chapters. And let's start with my crazy breakdown of everything that we've been through. And yeah, this is going to be long. So brace yourself, because this isn't going to be like going through the chapters. This is going to be a story overview, and why I say we've had too much of retconning and how much of it has been retconned. Okay, so the surname Grace that Baum has is from Alan, right? And Alan kind of created a family that doesn't actually have her direct descendant in it, but the direct descendant has now come into the family. The person who took Alan's surname was Grace, no, sorry, not Grace, Mashaya Lazlak. So Mashaya Lazlak has Grace's name and inherited the heir to the family into it. So the 11th family, basically, or the 12th family. Because remember, there's V's family and there's Alan's family, who we've never ever met. That's basically who they are. Just like the princesses of Jahar are adopted and a lot of the Lopobia are adopted, same thing happens with all the families. So we get that there from this year when we go to Sophia Tan's place, and we get that Fag is basically an extension of V and Grace's family. So that is the big thing about this year. We then going to get a whole lot of spoilers in this next season, because this is the princess arc. It was spoiled in a blog post around the time we were at episode 120 that the princess arc is following the nest arc, and that was before Traumarai even arrived at the nest. So we knew a princess arc was coming. So this is going to be princesses of Jahad fighting for the chance to marry Bam. And trust me, this is going to be very interesting because Bam is not just some regular prize. Bam is like a crazy heavy prize for anybody to get. Remember, Bam basically sets the tone for who's going to be in charge of the tower. Okay, so that was the first thing. The next thing, oh, what is this? I did not know this was out. Volume 1 available now for pre-order. Oh, there's a book now. Ooh, this is gonna be awesome. If only I knew. To be honest, that I knew it existed. I just can't get it where I am. So anyway, so the whole story from there is what we're going to be talking about, because there's a lot to discuss, and obviously in retrospect this is total spoiler, right? So Arlen Grace was in the tower. She's part of the 13 warriors who originally entered. They climbed up the tower, they went through the Hell Train, they passed the test, and then the workshop granted them the hidden floor to save a copy of themselves. Later on, they finished their climb, they reached the doors, right? And when they reached the doors to go to a higher level, Jahad decided that they're going to stop because of something that was said between him and the administrators, right? I don't know what it was, but something was said, and they created 13 weapons and the rings of Jahad. Jahad proposed to Arlen because he was in love with Arlen, and Arlen refused it because she was in love with V, and she chose to marry V over Jahad. And that started this massive rift between the families. Because you understand, we saw Pobert Augustang is on good terms with Arlen, but he hates V, right? And Viol is V's son. And we see that all the family heads have this thing basically from those who we've met, who where they feel that everybody else is inferior to them. And we see that it's a general thing with them so far. The two who we've met generally refer to people as insects. We even have the same thing from Arye Han when we see White's memories of him and how he tells him you need to become a demon and all that stuff. Basically, we get that whole idea. So we get that this attitude is in general from the 10 great families. Okay, so the whole rift starts with this marriage between V and Arlen, and they decide they want to keep climbing up the tower. They don't want to stop. And originally Jahad intended to have heirs with Arlen so that they would carry on the climb up to further levels of the tower. So Jahad is like this big heartbroken jerk, and he stops his companions from climbing because he can't get what he wants, right? He's never gonna get it. His wish can never be fulfilled. So the next thing which happens is the contracts for immortality. The contracts for immortality were actually signed from the 100th to the 134th floor. So everybody has their contracts on different levels. Jahad's contract is very, very specific. So here is what Jahad's contract is, right? He is immortal and he cannot be harmed by any resident of the tower, right? You cannot harm him if you are a resident of the tower. So if you are somebody who is a ranker, you are a resident of the tower. If you're born in the tower, you're a resident of the tower. That's the way that it works. So the only ones who aren't residents of the tower, who are just travelers through the tower, are irregulars. Yurik Mazino, Bam, and the other family heads are just travelers through the tower. But because of them taking those contracts of immortality, they became residents. And that's how come they are in the position they're in. Now, with V and Arlen fighting against Jahad to continue going up, eventually a rift was formed between the families. They all were fighting each other to see who would have control, and they played the game that we see in the Hell Train, the one where they decided how they're going to divide up the ruling of the tower between themselves. From that, we then have the next thing which happened, which was which was Jahad attacking Alan at the birth of her son. So Alan had a child, and her child is who Bam is right now. Now we don't know the name of the child. Juviole Grace is most likely the real name, because Grace Mashaya Lazlak was actually a student of V's. So that most probably is the real name, right? The real name is most probably not Bam, but Juviole Grace is his real name. So JVG, right? And Viol is most probably the name which V had, I'm suspecting, or there was the family name for Bam's father, and that's why he was called V, right? For the surname Viol. So Viol Grace is only for him. He's a special, he's double head, right? And he's also an irregular because technically speaking, he was born in the tower and he was raised outside the tower by being brought up with a spell, because he was killed by Jahad on the 43rd floor. He was killed on the floor of death. So yeah, that was his death place. And after that, there he was crowned by the god outside the tower that he would be the one to slay the king, to cut his throat, right? And that is the power that is granted to him that brings him back to life. But there's something more to it. Enryu's message has been translated 2 or 3 times, right, from its original text into Japanese and into English. And on one of the texts, Enryu says, I here am the messenger of the god of the tower, and I hereby bring his power in with this thorn. And that's when he killed the administrator. So if that is true, then Bam is the axis of the tower, right? But we're not 100% sure, but we know that that was brought into the tower. We know Enryu is here, not Enryu, sorry, Phantaminum is here for some other purpose. He's waiting to see how the story of this axis plays out, right? There's an axis in charge of the tower. He's relating how it goes to the next level. We know that outside of the story, there are multiple other universes and stories that go on. SIU created this entire world, so he is SIU, and he will have another alias for another author within his world, whoever it might be, if he decides he wants to go on and create the entire universe, right? So I don't think that TOG was meant to be just 10 years. I think TOG was meant to be something like maybe 15 years, and then he'd move on to the next book and the next book and the next book. For now, he may have to dictate his story and have somebody else draw for him, which might be a very painful thing to do, especially for someone as gifted as SIU. He might have to only do the initial concept and have somebody else do all the drawing for him, one of his assistants. That's the only way he's going to finish his story. So I'm just going to stop there. Okay, so Bam was killed, and Alan cast a spell on him to slow down his aging process. V never received an immortality contract like all the others, right? This is where things get a bit sketchy. Everybody basically received immortality contract, including Jahad and Alan. The only person who doesn't have one is V. So yeah, that is weird. We know Hendolak Blood Matter had another type of immortality contract where he is immortal provided he sacrifices his children, right? So right now he is most probably not immortal. He's mortal if what was said by Tramurai is true, that Hansang is needed for the contract. Then that means that Hansang is blood matter, and that he's actually a direct descendant of Hendolak. So that's how it would go. Alright, so after this year, there comes the whole point where Alan is trying to find a way out of the tower, and she speaks with Gustang, who is her very good friend, and they find a way out of the tower. At this point, she goes on that route. She finds a place without the administrator and without the rules of the tower, and she manages to escape back to the outside world. So there was another way out of the tower besides going through the 134th floor of the tower to get up to the top, but it's not to where they wanted to go, so she had to go back down. She descended the tower. She left. And at that point, she took the dead body of her son, who was encapsulated with the spell, handed it over, praying to the god to bring life back to it and have him continue the climb up the tower for them, so that the whole story would go on in that way. And that is what was asked for, and that's why Bam was resurrected. Now, at the same time in the tower, here's what happened. At the time of the death of V, his disciple, Grace Mashaya Al-Azraq, who was also a companion of the 13 warriors as they climbed up the tower, took up his master's fight, and he decided he is going to fight Jahad. So that is the story of Grace Mashaya Al-Azraq, and his fight eventually ended up in the founding of an organization called F.U.G. We call it FUG, but it has a meaning, right? G very likely stands for grace, right? F and U, we don't know what it stands for, but yeah, something grace. So yeah, that's most probably what FUG stands for, and that's the reality behind the organization. It has a meaning behind those 3 letters. We might learn it someday, and I'm hoping that they spoil it out in the next few chapters, because I don't think that SIU can keep this up for very long. He came back from a 1-year hiatus, and I think he only did something like 30 chapters, or just a little bit over 30 chapters. So yeah, it's not really the best, because he started before that Cat Tower, and he ended right here. So most probably could have even been a year, 50 chapters, and it's been quite a while since he's been back. It's about 3 months. So he can't just do this year every year with 1 year's break and then comes back, 1 year break, come back, 1 year. And this time he stopped because of other reasons besides just his arm hurting. He was also being pestered with a lot of negative feedback. And you know what? He's an artist. He should be ready for a little bit of feedback, especially when he makes a masterpiece and people feel that he's letting down his masterpiece. It's something that authors do like and also hate at the same time. I know it because I am an author. I have mentioned it before. I do write as well, so I can talk about this here from an author's point of view. So yeah, that's one thing for you to note about authors. We both love criticism and we absolutely hate it. It's a double-sided sword. Okay, moving on from that, let's go on to the next part of the story. So FUG is founded and they elect their 11 slayers, 1 for each of the family heads and 1 for Jahad. The first slayer seat belongs to Mashaya, right? He has one of the slayer seats. He is a slayer. They were also founded by people from the tower who were friends of V and people who V had helped out, including the descendants of the first men and the ancient ones. So the ancient ones were part of the original FUG. So that's just something for you to know. Originally, before the ancient ones, there was one ancient one, and they are their descendants. They are now the cursed people of the tower. That's the what's her name? Uraha. Her curse is one of them. Then there's the gender curse, so that's the stillborn curse, the genderless curse, and the last one was diminishing or sealed powers. So the 3 curses that we know of. Rak is an example of sealed power. He didn't have his power till he reached the floor of the hidden floor. Then he got those rock type powers. What else was it? Evankhell is also an example of an ancient one. She has an ancient one inside one of the fragments of the ancient one. They will gather at a certain point when the time comes for a certain purpose. They don't know what it is, but they know that's what they're surviving for. Okay, so that was the whole thing about the ancient ones. They had their whole story and they are waiting for this whole situation to continue on the top. Because they sided with V, Jahad had most of them exterminated. Okay, so then we get to the first FUG war. At this point, a whole lot of nations join in with FUG. That's the Flower Nation, the First Man Nation, and all these other groups, and they wage a war against Jahad, called the Age of Genesis, right? So we know that as Cha and Dawan's story with the Hidden Grove. We know Kal Halam took part in it because he was from FUG, and we know that they lost this war in the end, with the Walls of Peaceful Coexistence being created. From that, we then go back to our current era of the story, because we don't know what happens in between, and we get the creation of the creatures in the workshop. Now, the workshop already existed in the tower when Jahad and the family leaders came in, and the workshop exists both inside the tower and outside the tower to make things even more complicated and more weird. And they are related to each other somehow. Don't ask me how, they just are related somehow. Um, from the workshop, the original mastermind behind it, I'm forgetting his name, Maxeth. Maxeth creates the pockets. He also creates inventories, and he creates several other items within the tower from the materials within it, and that was used for various things. So yeah, that's the whole middle part with the workshop. We don't have enough on them. We've got tidbits of information. We know that they create artificial life. We know that one of the artificial life forms is one of the kings of one of the lords of Jahad, right? So the king of Jahad actually has 3 lords who rule in his stead in rotation. They have one period on, one period off, and that's how they go with 3 of them. One of them is good friends with Wula Yuksong, and we're about to get to Wula Yuksong. Now, after the Age of Genesis comes this whole long dead period in the tower, and in this period comes the first irregular. This irregular goes up to the 43rd floor, and on the 43rd floor, he slaughters Jahad's army and kills an administrator. He kills the unkillable with an item called the Thorn, the power for his god, or for the one who he serves, right? Or for the one who will cut the throat of the king. But those are all the translations of the individual. And he leaves the Thorn behind. And then he continues up the tower. Killing that administrator earns him rank number 2 amongst rank number 1 amongst all high rankers. Following this, the next monster enters the tower. His name is Fentaminum. He is an access from outside the tower, and he climbs up the tower all the way to the top, and he assaults Jahad's castle, and Yuri Ha is there at the time, so we know this is within the last 500 years. Yuri Ha does not die in the battle, but most of Jahad's army does, and at this point, Fentaminum disappears. Right? We don't know what happens. We just know that he disappears after this fight in the battleship. And at this point, we then have the next irregular enter the tower because he is chasing after Fentaminum. This irregular's name is Yurik Mazino. He is a powerful monster, and he just climbs up the tower like a crazy man. He is unstoppable, and he just storms through every single test and makes it up the tower in the fastest time in all of history, becoming a ranker and founding his own group called Wula Yuksong, who's devoted to leaving the tower. They want to go beyond the 134th floor to the higher levels, but they couldn't get to take a test any further, and they couldn't open the door. Whew. Sorry about that. Okay, so moving on from that, we then have the next part of this crazy story where the next irregular enters in, which is the story that we've been reading so far. Bam enters in not knowing anything. Actually, 2 irregulars enter. One is named Rachel, one is named Bam. Rachel is unqualified to climb up the tower, but Hiron gives her an advantage and gives her a task to kill the other irregular if she wants to continue climbing. At this point, we don't know much about Rachel when she first enters, but nonetheless, Bam goes up chasing after her. He actually goes ahead of her. He takes the test that was meant for her. His test would have been different. It's actually meant to be on what you deserve. He tried a test that was made to be almost impossible because Rachel's desire was greater than her limit of power. So it was an impossible test, and that is the reality behind the test that Rachel received. She was right that it was unfair that she was even allowed in the tower. Okay. Moving on from that, we then have the test floor where Balm goes through all the tests as we saw in season 1. At the end of it, he is betrayed and pushed off by Rachel, where he falls down. We get the release of an Irregulars type power where he fights. I'm forgetting what he fights again. He fights the Bull. Right, we know the Bull can slay entire teams of regulars, and even some rankers would struggle against it. Right, we know that Balm slays it. So we already get this idea that Balm is really high level. He can use ranker type techniques that take very long to learn, from what we learned from Quant, and that is just the start of the power that Balm has. So you get it. He's already capable of using ranker level techniques if he is exposed to it even once, and he's getting more and more powerful. He's like a shark. He's just devouring all his power immediately. And the only other person who can stand close to him in terms of power is Ender Rossi, and she's most probably more powerful in the start, but is losing to him as time progresses. Nonetheless, Balm is strict in Rachel betrays Balm after he reveals that he's an irregular, and she continues up with his team while Balm is trapped on the floor by Fug. Right? At this point, the deep sea fish, otherwise known as Hansang Yu, laid the trap and trapped Balm on that floor. At this point, you all know the story. He goes through training with Jin Sang Ha. He gets powerful. He receives a fragment container for the thorn, and that is put with him so that he is in sync with the thorn when he comes to the workshop. 5 years after the test floor, Balm is finally allowed to continue to climb, and he climbs up to the 20th floor of the tower, where he meets Wagnan and team, and he forms Team Sweet and Sour. Originally they weren't a team, as you all know from season 2's start, but he was tricked into being part of Wagnan's team, and then they later find out what a kind and nice person Balm is when they find out that Fug actually was holding his friends hostage. We then find out that he can't fail tests, and that's how things go. At this point, they continue on with their exams in the early 20 floors, and they end up on a floor owned by the Yuan family. And on this floor, they end up in a test where they are told to find a flower of Zigna. This is where they meet Yurik Mazino for the first time, and where Yurik was fighting and slaying rankers effortlessly without even getting a scratch. He played around with the Slayer candidate, and the Slayer candidate managed to land a scratch on his face. Right, and compared to everything that he went through, even with fighting rankers, to lay a scratch on him is quite impressive. To survive an attack from him is worth wings. Right, that's how he generally does it. If you can survive an attack from his pinky finger, you're worth 1 wing. If you can survive a punch, you're worth 7 wings. So a fully fledged member of Ula Yuksong. It's called the Wing Tree Badge because Bakery Yun, one of the founders of Ula Yuksong, lived in a forest and he refused to leave it. So Yurik Mazino compacted the entire forest and carried it in a container. And when he gave this container to Bakery Yun couldn't carry it because it was too heavy. So he put wings on it and he had it float. And we know that the forest on the 77th floor is made from a sea of the wing tree forest that is being carried by the wings. So that is the whole story behind the founding of Ula Yuksong and its philosophy. Alright, so let's continue on with the story. We know that Balm then continues on to the workshop where he receives his first thorn fragment, and he unleashes the power that suddenly, from being able to tie with a ranker, Balm is now able to match a B rank regular. Yeah, I know that it sounds kind of ridiculous, but yeah, Balm was nerfed. And that is the second nerf of the entire story, because the first nerf was when Balm was on the 20th floor, and he actually drew with Love, who was at full force. Remember, Balm trained for 5 years. Balm had ridiculous potential already. He learns at a super fast rate. What takes other people 5 and 10 years, he learns in a mere day or two. Remember, even Ren told him, it took me 2 years to do 2 bang, and you did this in a matter of days. If I'm a genius, you're a super genius, right? So that was the reality behind it. So we move up from that to the next set of the story, and that's where we get the workshop battle, right? And he gets a fragment from the thorn that killed an administrator. So he's 1/4 of the power to grant an immortality wish. So he's 1/4 of the power to kill an immortal. But he can't obviously use the whole thing. It's incompatible with him completely, and that's what we get the idea of at that point. So things spiral out of control from there, and that's how that segment of the story ends. We then get to the Hell Train segment, where Bam is chasing after Rachel again, now that he has finally gotten his freedom from Fug after all of the craziness of the workshop battle. And at this point, he ends up on the Hell Train, where he ends up fighting an individual called White. Now, there's a whole lot of chaos that happens in the start of it. I'm not going to go through that. But he ends up facing this individual called White. This individual called White was actually once upon a time a slayer. He was beaten by a princess of Jahad, and he ran away to a certain place in the tower, which was the Hell Train, and split his soul into its 5 make-up fragments, his 5 siblings. At this point, his power is separated from him, and he is set out in the train in 5 pieces. He starts slaying everybody in the train to try and get more power, and he was going to use that massive amount of death that the train has collected to regain his power as a slayer, so that he could climb back up and retake his seat. Unfortunately, along the route, he meets a group of 5 individuals: Sachi, Borro, aka Daniels, and I'm forgetting the name of the girl, Ruina. So these are the 5 regulars who he meets. They manage to interfere with his spell, and they end up locking him into the train, sealing him in permanently. He lays dormant until Bam comes in. He fights him, and Bam actually gets one of the clones, who is then intermingled with the souls of all those who White has killed, to give White's power over to Bam. So Bam has the power of the legendary Slayer, the power of 1 billion souls. And Bam uses the power to defeat White in the game on the Hell Train in the first segment. At this point, Yuriha, who was on the train, intervenes and saves them from the trap that was set to melt Bam into the thorn for the sake of the Slayer Karaka. They then continue on up the train until they reach the Name Hunt floor, where Yuriha tells them that if they want to go to the floor of death in chasing Rachel, they need to bring back the name of Kesa. And that was a major scene, because we get this whole thing about Bam earning his right to go to the floor of death from someone who was way more powerful than there should have been, and that's where he defeats Kesa. He also defeats Kesa, but he doesn't take a name. Instead, he buys her name and gets her to be freed from her bondage to the Lopobia family. She then becomes a regular and climbs up the tower, and she is then going to later meet him at the final station. Bam goes to the floor of death. On the floor of death, he meets up with Yurik Mazino again, and he ends up running into trouble when he finds out about his past with Arlen. He finds out that he was born and he was killed by Jahad in the tower in the past. So that's one of the reasons why he should hate Jahad. Jahad literally murdered him. It's the reason why he was in the dark place. After this year, they meet up with Pobadao Gustang, who ends up coming to the floor because somebody interfered with one of his puppets, who is the guardian of the floor. So Gustang takes out the souls from White, who actually ate all the souls on the floor to break the immortality contract, and he takes it and he replaces it back into the floor, restoring life to everybody. He then also erases all the memories from everybody on the floor of death, and that's how they continue back on the train. A member from their team who was now added was Hockney. They then continue on, and they are given a task by Pobadao Gustang to enter the hidden floor and take out an item from Jahad, or take an item from Jahad. And this task is given to Balm, and he says he wants to compete with Rachel, so he's going to give her a chance to, compete fairly for the second Thorn fragment. The two of them agree to this here, and they end up taking part in their little competition. At this point, on the hidden floor, they're all separated. Balm has a massive task, and he manages to climb out of the quarantine all the way until he makes it through the first level, second level, and then they meet up with the data of young Jahad. Soon after that, they meet up with the data of Kun Edwan. Kun Edwan saves Balm from being killed by the data of young Jahad, and at this point, Balm is trained by the data of young Edwan and finds out that Kun Edwan was best friends with his father. And along with that group was Hendolak Bloodmatter. So those are the three who are best friends together on the other side of Jahad. At this point, Balm is trained on how to use his Black Hole Shinsu, and he becomes a real force of nature. Kun and Rak are also trained on this floor, and Rak awakens his Ancient One powers. Kun awakens his Kun power for Ice Shinsu, and they end up using these skills to further themselves in getting higher and better in the tower. Okay, unfortunately my power just went out, but we're really close to where we were. After this year, they end up at the last station, where they end up in a massive war. And in this war, they end up fighting a crazy battle. The battle is... sorry about this. The battle is fought at a place called the Last Station, and at the Last Station, I skipped a part. On the floor, on the hidden floor, in order to leave with the item that they wanted, they're given a challenge to fight Jahad. At this point, Balm faces Jahad, and he ends up succeeding in his challenge, where he actually beats Jahad, making him a really formidable foe. So he's stronger than the strongest member of their team at that point, making Balm one of the strongest even among the 10 great warriors, and Jahad, the 13 warriors. So he was stronger than them. So we know that he was stronger than them when he leaves the train. He also then ignites the second fragment of the Thorn, which gives him even more power than he already had. So Balm goes to an even higher level of power, leaving the floor. So he was even stronger than them when he moves on to the next part of the story. Leaving the train, he ends up at the final station, where Jahad's army has been sent to dispatch the regulars on the train. Because of the hidden floor and Jahad having a chance to interfere with it, the spells on the train are broken, and the interference of rankers is now allowed. At this point, we all know what happens at the last station, and Jinsang Ha attempts to prevent the squadron commander of the 4th Squadron, Kalavan, from getting to the station and stopping Balm. At this point, Jinsang Ha is captured and taken prisoner by Mashni, who is commander of the 3rd Squadron of Jahad's army. We then get into Season 3, which we've just been through, and we get Balm trying to get the help of Baylord Yama to help him retrieve his master from Jahad's army. We then find out that Jinsang Ha is alive, and we then find out the whole story with Cage, right? That's the whole Baylord Doom, Baylord Yama, Baylord Paul, all of that goes through on the stage. Forgive me for the music cutting out. I need to save some power at the moment. Okay, so we get the whole Baylord story, and we get their whole history at this point. We then move on to the next part of the tower, and that is the Nest arc, which we just finished a few episodes ago, and we get the whole fight in the Nest. Actually, we just finished it now in this last session of episodes. So we then get the whole story at the Nest, where it prolongs into 3 walls and into a final fight. And the family head intervenes, like we just saw, and we get the hints that Balm's power has been nerfed yet again. Balm's power, that is supposed to be able to erase any and all Shinsu, is incapable of defeating Shinsu abilities from regular individuals from the tower. We know that Black Hole's fear is just this crazy amount of power that irregulars have, and for some reason, Balm's isn't on that level like the other irregulars. Okay, so from this year, we then go on to this arc where we end off with the princess arc starting. So the princesses are going to fight for the right to marry Balm, and that is all that is going to happen. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future, and we've discussed everything that happened in the story up to this point. And obviously, I have just condensed it into a big lump for a few minutes. So yeah, that's everything that's happened up to this point. Balm has gone through nerf after nerf after nerf, and he's been nerfed again immediately after the Nest fight. Remember, he's already top class high ranker, and we had Lilia actually push him back. So yeah, he got nerfed again, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll be back as soon as the story is back on this. But you can trust me to have a special series coming up where I over analyze each chapter with all the information of the story. So you're gonna get chapter 1 with everything being analyzed from the entire story. It might not be a 10-minute video. Okay, I'm hoping that it isn't 10 minutes. I'm hoping that it can be 5, but it might be 20-minute videos or 30-minute videos, whatever it is. But it will be an over-analysis with full spoilers. So if you are interested in that, I suggest that you do subscribe and join me in the next episode in the coming days. So see you all then and have a good day.